Okay, guys, I just saw a chart on StockTwits. I believe it was put out by SMB Capital on KBH. And the idea was, this is from Friday. The idea was basically a buy above this base. I love the chart. It's very well done, and it's worth a look. I don't want to steal their stuff, so I'm not going to go into it. But I mean, it was basically a base break here, high of day just to the left, and we all know KBH was super strong on Friday. I would just like to offer another setup that it gave using a method that I teach in chat. And the irony of this is, I can't stand when people look at a chart after the fact and say, here's what you should have done. And now I'm joining that group of clowns because I didn't, I astutely missed the entire KBH and Home Builders rally on Friday. Okay, so wasn't even on it. And so I'm not trying to say I was. Love the chart by SMB Capital. I just thought, I looked at it after I saw that chart. I was already mad at myself for missing the whole rally. And I looked at it and thought, did KBH meet anything that we teach as far as an entry as well? Now I'm backed out on 5-minute candles. And you can see, I mean, great entry that those guys called. Nice tight base here. And the high of day, the early high of day, just to the left. So whenever you get a base break like this, when you get this battleground, and then it breaks to the upside, and you've got the high of day just to the left on a strong stock. Look at the volume compared to the previous day. So the thing's really strong. Base break, probably going to get you to the new highs ticker, and we call that, we get your free advertising on the new highs ticker, and then a whole nother leg higher. So, I feel like a fool for missing this completely, but just looking at the chart, this actually met something that we teach too. Their entry actually better because it was immediate. Okay, the reaction whenever you have a base break with a high of day to the left, and who doesn't like a trade when you enter it? You get immediate feedback. You're immediately in the green. You can sell some. You can tighten up your stop on the rest and ride it up however you want to trade it. But just real quick, as a trading or as a chart lesson, something we look for in our chat room, and again, I want to be clear, didn't see this, I'm a moron, I missed the entire KBH move, but the chart, I thought, hey, let's just see if it meets anything we look for, and it really did. Super strong stock, okay, and then it topped out here right above 14, came back down. Oftentimes, when you get, when you get your first cease of the rally, however, that's not worded very well, when you get your first, the brakes get put on, you get a pullback, and then you break through it, you're probably going to get a retest of this area at least once. Okay, another thing, so when it was up here, you had this, finally had a base, it's not uncommon to get a retest and a whole number as well, so a retest of 14. Another thing that I like is that oftentimes on a strong stock, you'll get one push that day. If it's one of those crazy strong stocks, you'll get one push that day down near the 20 period moving average using 5-minute candles. And we look for that. All right, so now you get a push down here. It's getting near there. And what I've labeled the area between the 8, well, this is the 8, the 5-minute candle, 8 period moving average, and the 20. I've labeled this area for our members, this gap between the two, as a buy zone on a strong stock, not on any random stock. So you've got a crazy strong stock here, KBH, massive volume. Look at it compared to the previous day. And now you're down in what we call the buy zone. Typically when I get there, and you're getting another thing, you're getting the pullback to the whole number 14, the pullback to that last little mini base before the second leg higher. This met every parameter we teach. You're in the buy zone, back to the whole number, and usually when I see this, I will switch to a lower time frame candle and look for an entry. So if you switch to 2s, let's go back to that area, right there. Look how clean that is. Very clean stair step, nice narrow 2, retest of that area, and then the first break of a previous 2's high would have been, arrow going here, would have been right there, and the stop would have been right there. Now I'm an expert, okay, at looking at charts after the fact and showing you where we should have entered. Very good at that. A lot of people probably are. It's not a really highly trained skill, but it is still interesting to me. If and in chat, I always say, please don't type in where you entered something if you didn't call it in real time. It's just not allowed in the room. But I will periodically turn on the projector and show something that we missed if I deem that it gives a pretty good trading lesson. And so, since SMB put out that beautiful chart on KBH, I thought let's just see if it gave any kind of trading lesson where I can beat myself up the rest of the weekend whining about a big miss. But it absolutely did. And look at this, by the way. This was the low of that pullback, that 2-minute setup there, the long, the stop. But the difference between this entry and SMB Capital's entry is this one chopped around for a long time before you got your breakout. Okay, their entry, and again, this wasn't my entry anyway, I didn't call it, but their idea, look at the immediate feedback, and that's a base. We call this a base below the high of the day on a strong stock, and there's their entry, immediate feedback. That's a much better entry, but still, to me, a decent chart slash trading lesson. The retest of the 14 area here, the buy zone between the 8 and the 20, and the 2-minute candle setup. We absolutely teach that, even though I didn't see it. So, take that for what it's worth. I'm just doing this as a potential, kind of chart lesson, and maybe take a moment to beat myself up for completely missing this. But anyway, SMB, guys, nice chart there. And look at that breakout on KBH. Pretty impressive stuff. Talk to you guys later.